Howdy, folks. Rob MaximumRD back again for the second time today. I am going content crazy, probably only to disappear and hibernate back in my hole for another few weeks or months. So take advantage of it while you can, will you? Anyways, the reason I'm here today is to respond to a few game-ish questions. These questions were presented by YouTuber Sane Swifto's Cilios. That's the name of his channel. I'm sorry, I apologize. I haven't known him long enough or been informed about him long enough to give you his real name or anything like that. I haven't had the time yet. I only discovered him yesterday. Once again, the name of the channel, Sane Swifto's Cilios, just like it sounds. There'll be a link in the description, so you can click the link and find out for yourself. But I decided, I didn't know of this YouTuber. He was brought to my attention actually because I stumbled on a longtime friend and fellow YouTuber, Mark, aka Lactobacillus Prime. I saw his response to these same questions and I enjoyed it so much, so I thought, I'll do the same. Got a webcam, got a few minutes. Hopefully I can get this done before Melissa gets home. It's not to sound weird or anything like that. It's just all about distractions, having time for yourself, right? Can't have stuff going on in the background when you're trying to do a serious response video like this. So yeah, once again, Sane Swifto's Cilios. That's the name of the channel. And thanks, Mark, for bringing his channel to my attention. I would not have known of him otherwise. It's probably not the name of a channel I would have stumbled upon during a search. So once again, it's the community of YouTubers that alerts us all to maybe lesser known channels and things like that. And indeed, his channel, it doesn't have a lot of subscribers. So I'm going to ask you to click over, say hi, tell him Rob MaximumRD sent you, and welcome him to the community. Subscribe if you like. Respond to some of his past questions here on YouTube. Just engage, support, and have some fun. So yeah, I saw the response video from Mark, aka Lactobacillus Prime, and also Down the Rabbit Hole, another great channel. If you haven't already, you need to check out. I will just put all the links in the description for you to check out. And other than that, yeah, I'll just go ahead. I was amused mostly because of the type of questions. You may be too. So again, apparently he's done a few of these questions previously. You may want to respond to one of those. But whatever you do, don't respond to my video. Don't respond to Lactobacillus's video. Please respond to the original link in the description, Sane Swifto's Cilios channel, and give your response to him. Okay, so let's get on with it. The top 10 here, just like Letterman's top 10. There's nothing on this actually. I actually have the questions right here on the screen from the description in the original video. I'll also link the original video. Okay, so let's get to it. I watched Mark's video and I didn't watch the response from Down the Rabbit Hole. I didn't want to be influenced too much with the answers, and in fact I didn't really want to know the answers that well or memorize them or anything like that. So this is more off the top of my head with the answers. So here we go. 10 of these. So strap in. Strap on? I don't know, whatever. Number 1. What superpower would you betray your order and kill younglings for? Oh, he said younglings. Okay, so I see what he's saying. What superpower would you betray your order and kill younglings for? Who needs a superpower? Seriously though, okay. I won't kill younglings, all right? I'm not going to go down that path. I'm not going to go on the dark side. Let's move on to the next question. So, yeah, the answer is no superpower. No, really. I mean it. Not even invincibility. Number 2, what games would you show someone to discourage them from playing video games? Oh, well, I'll go with the default answer. N64, Superman 64 would probably be a good one. And what is that one? I know there's a one that's famous. AVGN did a video on it, and I knew of it beforehand because a bunch of other people did videos on it. And apparently it's just so broken and busted, and the developers apparently nutty. But is it Big Rigs or something like that? I know it's a well-known game, infamous for just how bad and glitchy it is. I think it's Big Rigs something. It's some kind of game where you're driving a huge transport trailer, 18-wheeler rig or something like that. And apparently it's the worst. So that would probably, I've never played it myself for obvious reasons. I've avoided it, but that would probably be the other one. So Superman 64 and Big Rigs, or whatever it's called, that infamous, horrible game. Which video game character would you like to be friends with? Friends. You know, back in the day, probably the first person that would come to mind would be Lara Croft of Tomb Raider fame for obvious reasons. Lara Croft, or being the huge survival horror fan that I am, I'd probably go with Claire Redfield from Resident Evil, for the same reasons. Anyway, oh no, just friends. You're talking friends, right? I don't know. Crash Bandicoot, maybe? No, that'd probably be pretty crazy. This place would get destroyed. Well, that's actually a tough one. I mean, when we think of video game characters, we think how cool they are or how we like to be them, and that's why we play them in these games. But really, would you want them as a friend? Would I want Snake from Metal Gear Solid as a friend? I don't know. I don't know. That's a real tough one. Yeah, I can't really respond to that. As just a normal friend that you hang out with, have a few beers, I'd have to give that one more thought. Sorry, I can't give a solid answer on that one right now. Number 4, you're in a desert, you look down and see a turtle on its back. It's belly baking in the sun. It can't get up without your help, but you are not helping. Why is that? Let me tell you about my mother. Yeah, if you don't get those references, well, what are you doing? What? Go watch Blade Runner. Why aren't I helping? That's a damn good question, isn't it? I mean, what the hell's wrong with me that I'm not helping? I don't know. Probably because I know I'm being questioned by somebody who's testing to see if I'm a replicant or not. And I don't know. Other than that, I would probably fail the test anyways, and then I'd have to, blow the interviewee away. And that's it, I guess. I don't know why I'm not helping otherwise. Number 5, what YouTube video have you always wanted to make but never have, and why? I'll be honest with you. Kind of two sides to me. I've been into computers since before the Commodore 64, basically, probably starting with the Commodore PET. And from that time, I've adapted pretty much every platform. I've learned every operating system inside and out. So I would probably say I did consider seriously making a channel that was all about, helping people with their computers, security, installing issues that they have, so on and so forth. The reason why I never did is because there's so much out there. There's already so many of those type of channels, and they already far exceed anything I would have contributed. So that's one reason. And the other reason is I'm understanding of people who know nothing about computers. I mean, we all start somewhere. A lot of us it was before our time, or we just never got into it for various reasons. But man, when I go to some of these groups and forums and I see reply after reply on somebody's computer issues, I just find it so frustrating because some of them are just horrible answers and suggestions and things like that. And while I can definitely feel that I could contribute better answers, as I said, there's already a plethora of channels, proper channels that people could turn to for such help. I get too frustrated with noobs. I admit it. If you already don't know the difference between RAM and storage, I don't feel I can help you. Please just go pick up a Computers for Dummies guide or something like that. At the very least, learn the basics before you start getting into this stuff. So I guess my answer is I'm easily frustrated, and I'm not much of a helper type because I find it very frustrating. A lot of people cause their own problems, and I just don't want to deal with it. So got a little too serious on that question there, especially for me. You guys know me, but the people who really know me totally understand my answer there. So there we go. Number 6, have I asked this question already? Yes. Number 7, no, I don't know. Which question are you referring to? The previous question, or the actual question? Have I asked this question already? I don't know which one you're referring to. I'm just gonna guess yes on either account. What was the last game you completed? That's a funny one, and I'm sure nobody would ever guess this. First and foremost, confession time. I don't complete many games these days. It's been years since I've completed really any games. In my youth, 8-bit, 16-bit platform, tons of games, of course. Tons of computer games, Commodore 64 games, but once the platform evolved and games started getting so long and massive, a lot of original PlayStation games I also completed, but computer games, not so much. The more complex and the longer they are and the more time they take, I just simply don't have the time these days. I don't get, I can't, I'm easily distracted. So I can even be enjoying a game, and after a while I just get tired of it. But oddly enough, again, being the huge survival horror fan that I am, the last game, and it was probably 6 months ago or so, that I completed completely. Well, no, I don't want to say completely. I finished the game normally, under normal circumstances, was Silent Hill Homecoming. Yes, Homecoming. I know it's not a favorite by a lot of Silent Hill fans, but I really enjoyed it. I loved the visuals, and it kept me engaged enough, obviously, to keep playing, and I completed it. Silent Hill Homecoming. So there you have it. It's possible, I'm looking into possibly transferring Silent Hill Downpour, again, I know not a favorite from a lot of Silent Hill fans, to the PS3 that I won recently off Blaine Locklear. I have the ISO, and it is a modded PS3. So I'm still toying with that idea. But if I do successfully transplant it over, that may be the next game that I play completely and complete as well. So awesome. Number 8. You are involved in a horrible fiery car accident and your face has melted off. However, a powerful evil wizard saves your life, cool, and says he can give you a new face. In order to do this, however, he will have to rip off someone else's face and give it to you. Whose face do you want to steal? Wow, that's a loaded question. Well, besides the obvious, either Nicolas Cage or John Travolta, and I'm doing some bad imitation of either one of those. Take your choice. I would probably go with, I don't know. Whose face? Whose face? There's so many better than mine. I just don't know. But if I'm ripping off theirs, stealing theirs, so I'm guessing they'll either die or they'll be living faceless, which isn't much of a life, is it? Man, these are weird questions. Weird. Who's gorgeous but deserves to die? That's the real question. Who's a good-looking male specimen but deserves such a fate? That is a question. And again, I'm sorry to do this, but without more research based on my rules for this question, I can't answer it at this time. I don't know. But it would definitely be somebody who deserves to have such a fate, to have their face removed, and is obviously also good looking. So I'll have to research that one, I guess, and see. Okay, sorry. I don't know. Number 9, what item of clothing would you like to see make a comeback? What item of clothing would you like to see make a comeback? I'll go with, and it's not really an article of clothing per se. I guess it's more of an accessory. I mean, kind of like related to eyeglasses, and I'll go with the monocle. I mean, what's better than a monocle? And you just don't see people using them much anymore. A good old-fashioned monocle while I sip my brandy and just all around be posh. I need a monocle to do that. So I'll just change that answer slightly from clothing to an accessory and say a monocle. Let's see. And number 10, all of the questions I've ever asked in my 3 questions videos, which one did you hate the most? Well, considering I have yet to watch your other questions videos, I'm going to go with this one. This one. Bonus, ask me a question. Okay, Swifto, I will ask you this, and may I call you Swifto? Because that's all I know you by at this point, so it's going to have to work. One gaming console. Yeah, one gaming console. I'm going to take computers out of the equation here. You can't say computers because you can emulate everything on that, or a lot of things on that. So if you were restricted to one gaming console and the entire library for that console, and I am not allowing you to pick a console that you can attach another accessory to and play that library. I'm talking a specific console, no add-ons or accessories, but every retail official title in that console's library. So, to clarify, if you said Sega Genesis, you would get the entire retail library for the Sega Genesis. No add-ons, no 32X, nothing like that. Just the native console and all the games that came out with it. Super Nintendo, NES, Sega Genesis, Neo Geo, whatever you like. Which gaming console do you choose along with its entire library? And with that, I grow tired. I've put out my second video now. Maybe I did this one because I was still high on root beers, Hires, root beer, and vodka. I don't know. So once again, thanks, Swifto. I will check out more of your videos and more of your channel, and maybe even more of your questions. But in the meantime, everyone watching, head over, check out them links, and check out Swifto's Silly O's. That is the weirdest name for a YouTube channel I've ever seen. So definitely check it out. He's got other videos. He does video game stuff, just fun stuff, silly stuff, obviously. Drop by, tell him Rob MaximumRD sent you. Thanks for watching again this second video. I'm going to go hibernate now for the next couple weeks or months. Rob MaximumRD out. Thanks again. Oh, and thanks again, Mark Lactobacillus, for posting that video so I would know of this channel to respond to. Bye for now.